What's up, guys? Welcome to the Crypto Savvy channel. I'm Craig, and we're going to be going over the charts. We're going to take a look at Bitcoin, obviously, in the macro. We'll take a look at it in the 4-hour. As you guys know, I've been short since 31.4. So far, so good. Let's talk about what's going on. So, as I stated 2 years ago, we talked about the bubble pop pattern, right? And I do believe we are still in it. We expected from a false bottom, 100% rally, which we got, before continuing to the downside to the true lows. There's always a false bottom in a bubble pop pattern, and usually it's a 70 to 125% rally, get everybody bullish, and then continue on down. Now, there is a chance we talked about last week, possibly getting up to here, which is around that 38.7, 38.8 range. If that happens, I would expect a massive rejection from there. But I do still believe that it's very possible we've already topped out here for the bear market rally and a continuation to the downside. I had showed you guys these white trend lines on the weekly. There's hidden bearish divergence. Hidden divergence is a continuation of the trend. The trend is down, right? And then we have bearish divergence, regular bearish divergence here, where we got higher highs in the price action, lower highs in the RSI. Right here on the RSI, this 50.69 level, if we break that, it's probably going to be pretty swift and pretty hard to the downside somewhere in the next coming months, right? So if we look at another count I have here, looking at it as a falling wedge, you could look at this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or A, B, C, D, E, however you want to look at it. But as you guys know, I think the bottom is going to be somewhere in the $3,700 to $9,700 range. Another thing I wanted to point out is the weekly bearish MACD, right? We had all the tops were called with the MACD here, right? It is a lagging indicator. We had a false one a couple weeks ago, came back up atop of it, but we did close below again this week, guys. That is not bullish in my opinion. Not to say we can't get quick spikes up, right? Day traders get crushed. As you guys know, I like to trade, swing trade, not daily. Oh, before we go any further, make sure you smash that thumbs up, share the video, get it out there. Also, leave your comments down below. That does help get the video out, and a lot of people I know forget to do it. So just take a second out right now. If we all do it at the same time in this video, smash the thumbs up. It will push this video out a lot more. So I appreciate you guys. All right, let's take a look at. So this is the bottom before the rally to the new all-time high, right? And then this is right here, 32.9. That is huge. If we get above that, we could rally, but that's going to be huge resistance right here. And that's from the first low after the top, right? And then here was our high. So technically, all we're doing is make lower lows and lower highs still until we hit bottom, in my opinion. Now let's look at some of these target ranges, right? So if we look at this whole thing as a head and shoulders here, and if we were to break down past this, what would this be? $28,000 range. We have a target of around 18.5, but before hitting that, we would before hitting that, we would look at the 0.618, which is around 21.7. As a bouncing point, maybe get another bounce here before continuation to the downside. But I would be very cautious here, being bullish, guys. I think it's a lot more likely that this thing comes down from here. And again, that doesn't mean we can't have a spike here and there, right? But what are our next targets here? Well, we would look at this. Coming off of this bottom trend line right here, like I said, that 21.7. If we break that area, guys, it could be very fast, very hard to the downside. Not to say that's going to happen, but you guys need to be cautious, right? Let's take a look at, this is a chart I made out. This is on the daily. I made this chart out last week just to show you guys the high volume node areas to watch for, right? So as of right now, we are playing on this one, which is 30,050. If we cannot get above the 30,050, the next major support from the high volume nodes on the VRVP is 23,337. And then we have one at 19.9, 17.1, 96, 68, and then 3,500. Now, what I want to point out is also, let's go over here. This is on the 8-hour chart on the CME. CME only shows candles when it's actually trading. So yes, you can count the weekends or whatever because it's actually traded then, right? But let's take a look at this. 97, 76, and 35, and 11.2. We have gaps in the CME. Those all match up with the other high volume nodes I just showed you guys, right? And on the Lux Algo, I had showed you guys this on the daily. We are still in a sell signal here. If you were to be trading this on low leverage, right? Your sell signal was at about 30,300. Your stop losses would be at 31,000 for your first stop loss. Second one at 34.5, right? Your take profits would be at 23.8 and 20,200. Now, if you guys have Lux Algo, you know, you can adjust this stuff and play with it, back test it. Tons of different stuff on here. I do have a link down below if you guys do want to check that out. But as of right now, let's take a look at what's going on here. So we talked about this possibly, right? If this is going to break out being a bull flag here, right? And this is on the daily, guys, so this would take time. That would get you as high as 36.3. And let's take a look at looking at this bull flag and the measured move of that. Where would that get you? Right to that 38.7. So remember, this is still a possibility in the cards. I think it's less likely to happen, but nevertheless, it is still a possibility. But either way, I still think we see much, much lower lows for Bitcoin. Before we get into the 4-hour, if you guys are interested in trading, definitely check out Prime XBT. They do help support the channel. Check it out down below. I do have a link down below. You can trade crypto, Forex, gold, silver, oil, S&P, Dow Jones, Forex, everything all from one exchange. We are going to be having a trading competition. Use my link down below to join. It'll start registration Friday. You'll be able to go to this tab right here, go into the contest section, and it will, I think Friday it starts registration. Monday the trading actually starts, and you can win $1,000 prize. Actually, I think it's 500, a 250, or two 250s and a 500. I'm not sure. We'll work that out before Friday just to let you know. But make sure you hit the link down below, get signed up, get an account started. You can use my promo code Savvy50. That'll get you up to a $7,000 bonus. Savvy25 gets you 25% off your fees. All right, let's take a look at, this is the 4-hour chart. This is the count I was looking for. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And I have them, that count marked out in blue. 26.6 would be the end of wave 3. 28.70 would be wave 4. Depending on where wave 3 ends, right? Then we could put the fibs on and look for that, right? But then we look at 26.1 for the 5th wave down, if this is a 5th wave or a 5-wave count. But as I showed you guys, we were watching this as a rising channel. And from the first spot, we broke that channel. Our target is 70 or 27,587. Now that's if the count isn't correct, right? But either way, we're looking for lower targets here. So let's look at the white trend line on the bottom, looking at this as a rising broadening wedge. And the first time we broke that, that would get us to 26.6. So either way, I see us coming somewhere within the next week or so between 26.6 and 27.5. That's what I'm looking for. We'll see what happens. I will keep you guys updated. I'm also going to show you XRP, Ethereum, and BNB here in a minute, but let's go over the bubble pop patterns, right? So we've talked about this many times. Bubbles always return to where they began. You can see this in Amazon. Now look at this Amazon chart. It took 20 years to break the all-time high. 20 years. Or actually, no, I'm sorry, 10 years. It took 10 years to break the all-time high in this .com bubble. And what happens in bubbles? All the scams, all the shady characters get washed out. There are plenty of them in crypto. I talked about this since December 2nd, 2021. I'll leave that video at the end of this video so you can check it out. But it always washes out all the garbage. There is a lot of garbage in crypto that needs to be washed out. Not to mention traditional markets, even though they're getting a little pumped today, I think are in massive, massive trouble. I've been talking about the biggest money grab in history. I do think we are in the middle of that. I think that I just think it's going to be rough, guys. I want you to be careful. I think the biggest opportunities of our lifetime are coming possibly by the end of this year. If we do see a market crash like I believe is coming, when a market really crashes, it crashes hard. Most people will sell towards the bottom, and I think the bottom is going to be a lot lower than where we are in everything right now. So just be careful. Nintendo, same thing, 15 years and it still hasn't broke its all-time high. 15 years, bubble pop pattern. As you can see, they always have a false bottom with a big 100% rally before coming down to their bottoms. That would get Bitcoin down into the $3,700 to $9,700 range, right? Let's see, the Sony bubble pop, 20 years, still hasn't made an all-time high. Same thing, Sony had plenty of false bottoms. But what I'm showing you guys here is the bubbles like this. If you don't think that's a bubble, I suggest you look harder, because this is a bubble and it has popped, and I don't believe it's finished popping, guys. BNB, I've been saying this for a long time. I think BNB is in massive trouble. We talked about this breakdown here and coming back for the retest on 26.2. It's exactly what we got. I think this is coming, guys. Now, what are some targets for it? We can take this here and just look at some targets. So the next targets I would be looking for here would be 200. If we break, first we have to break 234. If we break 234, I'm looking for 200. Might get a bounce in there, and then down to 153. Here is the main target, 69. If it breaks below this, then Binance is in huge trouble, or something is going on. Remember, guys, show me the charts, I'll tell you the news. And I'm saying there is some bad news coming for Binance. People will say there's already been bad news. I think there's much worse news coming. All right, XRP, this weekly chart, showed you guys this a long time ago. So you can see each time we get this big rally, right? We did not get all the way up to our yellow trend line on this one. But you can see it's just a pump and dump hyped out coin. You always get a hype pump, right? But look, they're getting lower and lower, less and less effective. Their hypeness is dying out. I've called this a dying penny stock for a long time, and I still stick to that. You can see the white trend line here. We've never even opened a weekly body candle above this, and we did it again. Got rejected here, guys. I see us coming down to, let's see where your next bounce area would be. And that doesn't mean it's going to go straight down, but this trend line here. So 30,950 or up 30,000. Yeah, that's going to happen. 30 cents. Let's say around 30 cents. If that breaks 25. If that breaks, could go all the way down to 4. Remember, it all depends on what traditionals do and what Bitcoin does. I do believe this is going to get rough, guys. So I do want you to be cautious. Even if you're bullish, you know, everybody has their own opinion, right? And if your data is telling you we're bullish, just make sure you have stops in. And I've watched people lose tons of money through this whole process. And I've watched people get super cocky, thinking they know what's going on, and just lose their ass. And most of the time, that's just people that are just following other people and really believe in their crazy targets, right? I'm not going to mention any names, but you know who I'm talking about. So as of right now, looking at Ethereum. So Ethereum, the area we're looking for it to break down is about 1760-ish. If that breaks, looking for 1422. And if this area breaks here, put a target in here. We're looking for approximately 280. And if that breaks, we have a high volume node down here at 114. But 280 is worst case. I think, again, it could go a lot lower. But let's look for this. First off, breaking this 1760. Then we have a target at 1422. If that breaks, look for $900 to $1,000 range. If that breaks, could be $200-300, somewhere in there. Litecoin, same thing. Everybody was talking about the halving for Litecoin, and it was a big nothing burger, right? Which I think the halving for Bitcoin may be a big nothing burger. It's possible. Be careful. But 77 is my next. These charts are super old, guys. We've been looking for this for a long time. 77. If 77 breaks, we're looking at 59. If 59 breaks, between 15 and 70 bucks. Could go lower than that. But nevertheless, I don't think the bubble's done popping, guys. And I just want to caution you. Make sure you guys smash the likes. Leave your comments below. Be careful out there. A lot of people are putting way more money than they can afford to lose in. And that's where it hurts the most, right? People are putting way too much money in, just like they were at 30,000, 40,000, 50,000, 60,000, and they lost their ass. May it recover? Possibly, but not as quick as people think, in my opinion. But we'll see what happens. Be careful out there. Make sure you use stops if you are trading. Remember, we're going to be having the trading competition. Use my Prime XBT link down below to get you signed up and ready for it. And I will see you in the next video. Have a great day, guys. I'm out.